Okay, Ian, we have a CU Podcast Patreon.
We do. Patreon.com/CU Podcast.
What can you get there?
I do writing. I posted one yesterday. We do.
What did you talk about yesterday?
I talked about Star Peroger, my PC Engine collection, and getting a game back for it that I had lost. And then we also do a weekly poll topic that we will cover. We do the full video podcast is up there.
We gotta get
I do hangouts.
We gotta get the YouTube subscription thing going for the full video as well. We gotta get that going.
We gotta do that.
We've been tardy, Ian.
Tardy.
When it comes to that. We just gotta think about what the price structure is gonna be with that. Anyway, so what were the poll topics this time out?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, it's on the document there too. Games to play to wind down, 20% only. In second place, a deep dive discussion of 27%. And in first place, Ian selected this for the poll and it won. What are good video games with bad stories attached?
I've got two that come to mind. And I have a feeling people will debate me on some of these, but it's how
Debate me, Ian.
These are games that I genuinely enjoy, but the story tends to ruin them. It doesn't ruin them for me, but it's a little rough. The first one is the Borderlands series, and it's what brought up this question when I was thinking about it, because I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw a couple friends of ours discussing Borderlands, and the one guy said, "Did they just think that Deadpool was the height of comedy and that they decided to try to make a video game entirely around it?" And that's what Borderlands is.
Ew.
Borderlands is a really good idea for a game. It's a first-person shooter with loot grind and dungeon crawl mechanics, essentially.
And it's open world.
Yeah. It's a fun game. It's a fun idea. But
Ew.
all the humor is written by 14-year-old teenage boys with too much testosterone. It's all
super sarcastic and
yes, exactly. Ugh. And it's painful to fucking play through it and deal with it. Like I said, good game, fun game, but man, does that really kind of take me out of it. The other example for me, and this was from a few years ago, Final Fantasy 15. I loved playing Final Fantasy 15. I thought the game was fantastic. The gameplay was excellent. I thought it made Final Fantasy made this transition to this open world action based, RPG very well. And there's a lot of good interactions between the four main characters, the bros, that you play as. Their story is great, but the whole main story, the love interest, the bad guy, it's so tacked on that it's impossible to get it's impossible to feel anything for some of these characters. And there are some big pivotous monumental storyline moments where things happen and you're supposed to feel something, and I just feel nothing. So it's rare, because usually a lot of times the story is what carries people through RPGs, and this one absolutely in no way, shape, or form was the story carrying me through the RPG. It was just fun to play, so I wanted to see what happened next. And those are probably my two big examples.
Okay, I'm trying to think of a modern one, not being that up with the modern gaming stuff. I think that a good example, at least to me, I don't know the whole series, I just know in general, I think the Assassin's Creed whole premise to me is weird.
The whole Animus thing where it's modern times, but they send you
times, yeah. But they're gonna fucking put you on a machine like Total Recall or whatever, and fucking go back to your genetic history and find a fucking story through.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Fuck off. Just do the story. Just be like, hey, we're in ancient times killing people with white hoods on or whatever. Just do that fucking story. Why do you have to tack on this?
Yeah,
they even did that with the movie that came out, I think. Why even bother?
Yeah, and from what I understand, the movie focused on it a lot, and there was very little of the back to the...
Is anyone playing Assassin's Creed did they get rid of that eventually?
I don't know. That's actually a great question, because I feel Odyssey, Unity, all of those may have moved away from that to a degree, because no one ever talks about that.
What did they strap some Greek woman down in that movie and say, oh, we gotta find out. Why do they have to find out about the assassins again?
I don't know. I've never played a single Assassin's Creed game.
But talk about like just taking what should be a good story on its surface, we gotta make it modern to appeal. No, you don't. Just have it take place back then.
I can say that Assassin's Creed is like
what the fuck?
Like plastic bag waste. People got to stop buying Assassin's Creed. It's taking over.
Well, at least they're not every year anymore, right? Now,
yeah, there wasn't one last year. But it's like they're taking over the fucking store. Like 11 copies of Assassin's Creed 1, 13 copies of Assassin's Creed 2, 5 of Assassin's Creed 3, 6 of Assassin's Creed 4. Assassin's Creed copies fucking multiply.
The Animus is a virtual reality machine developed and eventually commercialized by Abstergo Industries. It follows the user to read a subject's genetic memory and project the output onto an eternal screen in 3 dimensions. The machine was notably used in Abstergo's Animus project and the Anime training program. The former analyzed the genetic memories of several select subjects, usually to gain information on the Assassin Order or the Pieces of Eden, while the latter was used for the training of Abstergo employees. Fuck off. Just fuck off with all of that. This sounds horrible. So they get you in a lab to get a 3D, real-time representation of your genetic memory to train employees to be what, modern assassins? I don't get it.
I don't know, man.
Oh, there's a background to the Animus. Back in the 1930s, the Templars... Oh, shut up. Just stop.
Oh, as soon as you get to Templars, that's it.
The Templars did a device in Norway that they try to do this. Holy shit. Like, this is bad. Wow, this is a long wiki article. On the Assassin's Creed fan wiki. It's like 5 pages long. Wow. Here I thought I was just going to say most fighting games have horrible stories. This is the worst thing I've ever seen the more I look into this.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think of I remember I said yesterday I was struggling to think of one. I don't know why I didn't think of this immediately. This is horrible.
That's a good one. It's a good pick.
Whew. Do any of the Tomb Raiders have bad stories, do you remember? Or they're just like, hey, we got to find something.
Raid these tombs.
Raid these tombs and shoot cute animals that I feel sorry for. Why you got to shoot the little...
Like the white tigers?
The tigers and the dogs or whatever. They didn't do anything wrong to you. Just use a taser on them. What's going on there? Is there any fighting games with really weird stories that are bad? I mean, obviously, like, yeah, Street Fighter, it's a world tournament. We fight. We get it. World Combat, it's a ripoff of Enter the Dragon. It's cool. We get it. Like, that's fine. Is there any ones that just go out of their way to have really weird stories in them?
SNK Heroines for the Switch has like a storyline where I can't remember his name. Fucking like kidnaps the girls and traps them, and it's very lecherous and weird. Yeah.
For a fighting game?
For a fighting game.
You have to save the girls?
The girls, yeah, it's bizarre. All fighting game stories tend to be very weird, though.
The Tekken ones are interesting because they actually have somewhat of a logical flow through with the corporation, and the guys, you know, like, they become friends with each other. Then the one guy, the corporation, gets actually older as it goes along.
Well, the King of Fighters series has a fascinating story if you can, follow it. It's fun.
What's the DOA story? How did they get so many... female fighters?
The DOA story is fun.
Where's the story of that? Dead or Alive plot. There was a movie of that too, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was.
Dead or Alive introduced the initial characters and the reasons for ending the tournament. Where's the story? Depicts a collection of skilled martial arts in a worldwide competition named the Dead or Alive tournament.
Yeah, it's literally just a tournament.
It's a massive corporation with unknown motives. I guess that's kind of like Tekken. Holds the fighting competition arenas ranging from the North Pole to the... Okay, so that's just silly. It's not even dumb. It's just silly.
Yeah.
Because at least you can say in Street Fighter 2, you fought where the other fighters were, even though that wouldn't be that wouldn't make sense. You'd fight in one location, like Bloodsport. Bloodsport is free with ads on YouTube, by the way.
It's also on Netflix right now, I believe.
But we should do a Let's Watch together. Ian.
Should we?
We should do that. We should do that. That's a thing now.
It is
on Twitch.
A lot of people are doing that.
We should do that. I don't know if you get. I guess on Twitch you wouldn't get copyright struck. There's no copyright strikes. It wouldn't. Anyway, I just think that's fun to do that now. All right. Any other ones? To think of that are that bad. I mean, we can go back to NES games and say, well, it's weird. You know, Super Mario Brothers with like, Mushroom Kingdom, but it's like, that's not bad. It's just goofy.
Right. It's just strange.
And for platformers, what else can you, what do you expect? I'm just trying to think of ones that are just so shoehorned in like Assassin's Creed, where there's just no reason for them to exist. Trying to look at the shelf over there and try to see anything that's really that bizarre. No, Paperboy's not a bad story. It's just kind of cute and goofy. You're delivering papers and Grim Reaper wants to kill you. That's all. you know.